How's it going, Jennifer?
Pretty good, man.
Yeah?
Yeah.
What'd you get for food that you were waiting for?
Pasta.
Nice.
Yeah, like with Italian sausage.
Italia.
Italia. Forza Italia.
Anyway, before we interrupted you being idiots, you were saying?
What was that? Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, just been playing a lot of Bannerlord. It's great.
I don't know what that is.
Oh, it's like this sandbox RPG tactical thing. Like, yeah, it's like you play
it's
as
a Mountain Blade game. Okay.
Yes. It's amazing.
Gotcha.
Fantastic.
Yeah, I have heard of those games, but I've never played them.
Yeah, they're really fun.
Like so if I'm
It's a variety of different like routes you can go. Like you could play as like a criminal if you want to. A leader, you can form your own kingdom and stuff, and you age and like you have kids, and then when you die, you can choose one of your kids as your heir, and then you start playing as them.
It's
pretty
shit.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome. And like, yeah, you die of old age. Like you pick up companions. I had one of my scout. Unfortunately, the scout in my party died at age like 54 of old age. So,
dude, you know what's funny is my friend, like my best friend growing up, still to this day, he'll be the best man at my wedding. Was always kind of, even though he was more of the, I don't want to call him a jock, but like, you know, always more of like an active into sport type of person. But in terms of like the nerdiness outside of like, oh, you're a sports nerd, it was always like, I just want a game where I can be on a battlefield and just have this gigantic fucking fight. And as far as I know, yeah,
exactly. Fucking me, dude. Yeah.
Like, yeah, my party size right now is 350 men under my command, and like you could, if you're part of a faction, which I just formed my own kingdom, I could call like other people over, and like I can have like 1,000 dudes, and yeah, it's great. It's fantastic.
I'm gonna need
incredible to defend a castle. Like you could chuck stones and explosive pots down on the people below. So like when they're like all grouped up waiting to get on a ladder, I like just throw stuff over the walls at them and get like 10 kills per. It's amazing. So
the question is, do we include this free promotion at the beginning of the podcast?
Yeah, well, it's finally not an early release anymore. It was finally full released in like October or November or some shit.
That's sweet.
It was an early release for like 2 years, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, early access or whatever.
Shit. I'm gonna have to check this out and tell my buddy about this, actually. I don't know if he'd have like a PC good enough to run it or anything, but
yeah, I mean, you can crank down the graphics settings if you need to, but it's so much more stable now that it's fully released. It was had some issues during early access, of course. And because I was modding it during the early access, I had to keep it on a specific beta. And like the more things they released after, like those old betas got more and more unstable. But now it's pretty good. It still crashes from time to time, but I also use mods, so that happens.
That makes sense. Goodness. Endo, how's the popsicle?
I just deep throated it. It's pretty good.
You did. Your big old stick of butter.
You call that a deep throat?
It's not butter. It's
You got to step your game up, Endo.
That's
you got to open the throat and relax the jaw.
I did open the throat.
Have your tongue out a little bit so you don't gag.
I don't even. Oh God! I'm sitting here like, what state? I was gonna be like, that's like a Utah deep throat, but it's not, because man, some of those repressed Mormons, they go crazy.
Oh yeah, that was like in my town. All the Christian chicks, the second they turned 18, went ham. Like they just like went crazy.
Yeah, that happens.
So good for them. Yeah, good for them though.
Including the Endo Mills in Ontario, Canada.
I'm here in Ontario, Canada, deep throating a popsicle.
Yeah,
because Austin Matthews is hurt again on his hand.
He is.
Oh, I don't know. He's always hurt with his hands.
Okay, this just has to. All this is in. Welcome everybody to another edition of the Tougie Steak Podcast, your favorite hockey fraudcast, a podcast that is not actually about hockey. Can't you tell? We're back again to talk about the two things that happened this week that weren't complete bullshit related. But before that, we're going to talk more about popsicles, kids who were sexually repressed that are now adults and said, "Screw you, mom." Not literally, although who knows? Mormons? Let's just throw Mormons under the bus. Why not?
Which mom?
We can't include this guy. And yeah, video games that don't sponsor the show. Endo, how are you? How's the popsicle?
Pretty good. You know, it fell earlier. And Tougie and I were making a good fire and I missed joke because I was like, I grabbed the popsicle. I tried to put it in my mouth. I dropped it. I guess I missed.
So see, the best part about this show is that Sin and I will make Family Guy references back and forth all fucking day long. And then Endo and I will just make Game Grumps references back and forth all day long.
Funny thing,
and there's that crossover. There's that crossover where Endo's like, I don't know, I never watched that episode. And there's the crossover where Sin's like, what the fuck are you two talking about? It's great.
I don't know how, but like my TV in the living room has been playing Game Grumps compilations for the past like 3 days straight. And like I'm too lazy to turn it off and be like, I'll watch something else. It's like, oh, I'll go over here, work at my desk. I'll go for like a walk over in the living room and take a nap. And it's just like 2018 Game Grumps. I'm like, all right, cool. I'll leave for an hour, come back, more random episode of Game Grumps. I'm like, all right, cool. That's fine by me.
Okay, question from me, because I will often go to bed with like a Game Grumps compilation in the background because it's like the perfect dumb, don't have to pay attention background noise to fall asleep. But I have gone through stages of my life where it's like I can sleep with the TV on. I absolutely cannot sleep with the TV on. Endo, are you a sleep with the TV on type of person?
I'm more of a listen to a podcast kind of guy.
That works too. That's fair.
I'll just throw a podcast on randomly. Sometimes I can't sleep. I've been taking melatonin pills just to like kind of get some more rest in. That's probably why I slept till fucking 2 p.m. today. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, that stuff's no joke.
I needed sleep. Oh man. And yeah. So when I throw a podcast on, I'll listen to Sleepycast, which is kind of like a defunct podcast now for a bunch of like old animators who used to be on Newgrounds back in the day. So like Oni NG, Spaz Kid, Psychic Pebbles, who now has a show on what's it called? Adult Swim called Smiling Friends. I'll just listen to their old podcasts and stuff like that just to get things through. And it just helps me fall asleep because it's more familiar and it's just random nonsense they talk about.
Sin, 2 questions. How are you? And do you fall asleep with the TV on?
Yes, every single night. I have to watch something to go to bed. I don't know what it is. I like just the background noise and I cannot remember the last time really. Well, never mind. Yeah, I can. I can't remember the last time I fell asleep without like watching something. But yeah, if I'm alone, I fall asleep watching something.
For me, it was Finland. After one of our nights of work, I just walked into my bedroom, just face planted out. It was great. Felt like falling on concrete too, because man, the Airbnb we stayed in, they had these like pillow toppers for the mattress, but it was hard as a rock. I slept like shit for the first 2 days there, but damn it was beautiful. There you go. For those playing Tougie Steak Podcast bingo at home, we mentioned the Finland trip. So that's the free space. To be honest. Oh, God. Well, gentlemen, hey, it's already been a fun start to this show. We'll get to some viewer questions in a moment to hopefully continue that. But before we do, as always, we need to mention that this show is brought to you by our friends at Mountain Blade Bear.
Tailwords. Tailwords Entertainment.
It is brought to you by our lovely friends, of course, at manscaped.com, who want to remind you that you can go to manscaped.com. You can use the promo code Tougie, that's TOUGIE, for 20% off your order and free shipping to get a fantastic deal on simply the best in men's grooming, of course, from their lovely Performance Package 4.0, everything you need to kind of just take care of really anything, let's be honest. I mean, they got their lovely Lawnmower 4.0. They got the Weed Whacker for those pesky nose and ear hairs. Because you could say ears hairs, but I mean, I guess that would make sense. How many ears do you have? We don't judge. Manscaped.com. Use promo code Tougie. Get the Beard Hedger Pro Kit. Use this sweet comb for your beard like Sin does all the time.
Yeah.
I don't think he has it in his office still, but that's okay.
No, it's in the bathroom with like the rest of my stuff.
There you go. And of course, the lovelier cylindrical deodorants. Go to
Cylindrical, there we go.
manscaped.com. It's a Thursday. It's going to be a weird show. I'm tired. Let's get to some viewer questions. Of course, link to the Discords in the description. No matter where you are watching or listening to this, you can have a question answered like these fine people are about to. First and foremost, Reds Rebels, what is your favorite copy pasta? Now I will go first because I do have an answer. The fuck did you say to me, you little bitch?
Oh my god, yes.
Because
I graduated top of my class in the U.S. Navy SEALs. I have over 400 confirmed kills in guerrilla warfare. You are nothing to me, you scrub.
Now,
oh man.
Aside from that being the original, it's multi-use. You can swap it out for anything. It's like, you could make it hockey related. I'll have you know I scored 75 goals in my house league. You little bit, like, you can sub it out for anything, for any topic. It is multi-use. It is perfect. You could use it for a video game. You know for a fact someone's used that copy pasta to brag about how many Ishal goals they have. Come on, it's happened. It's the best, simply the best. Tina Turner. Do you have? Do you have a go-to or Endo? Either one of you.
Yeah.
You go first.
I consider myself to be a man of God, and there's a little wide shot to left center, a home run for Castellanos, and it'll be a 4-0 ball game. I love that, dude.
Oh, that's up there too. That's a fucking all-time.
Oh man. I think my favorite though is I think Tougie might know this one. How is Babby formed?
What?
Really?
Yeah, it's an old like Yahoo Answers user, basically someone who asked like how is a baby made, and it was just like how was Babby formed? How girl get pregnant? And the answer
is that a copy pasta though?
It is.
It is. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. And now and the response is they need to do way insane mother who kill their babbies because these babby can't fright back. It was on the news this morning. A mother in R who had her 3 kids, who had killed her 3 kids. They are taking the 3 babby back to New York to lady to rest. My party are with the father who lost his children. I am truly sorry for your lots.
Oh, God.
That reminds me of the fucking show me Bob and Vagine.
Bitch lasagna.
Yeah, hello, bitch lasagna.
What are your boob size? Milk truck just arrived.
You've heard the song of that, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh.
I am not having sex with my mom. I love mom.
Well, I had another one in mind that's an all-time. Oh, I got it. But then Sin said Bob's and Vagine, and I lost it for a minute. Not quite a copy pasta, but we do have to shout out, does Bruno Mars is gay?
I does have to know.
Peak internet.
Or the fucking Jaden Smith tweet. How come you can drink your drink, but you can't food your food?
Realize.
Oh my God.
I think my favorite Jaden tweet is how are mirrors real if our eyes aren't real?
That is right there with the fucking ICP song Magnets. How the fuck do they work?
Oh God. I hate ICP.
Oh God. I
hate
love
juggalos. And you know why? Because they were pieces of shit at my high school. One of them threw a book at my face in class.
That's what you get.
I'm gonna fucking kick your ass, Endo.
That's what you get for being a bitch. No, I'm joking.
Oh my God, I have your address.
No, we'll just fight at the Sports Gamer headquarters sometime.
Make the playoffs in 7 seed so I can absolutely stomp your yard.
Dude, we won a at our XBS league. Our team fucking sucks, dude. I got a message from my owner being like, "I need the 3 in net because they're the only chance of us winning besides from Davos." I'm like, thanks.
Anyway, I wanna shout out ICP at least for being meme lords for over 30 years now. That's all I view it as. Those two have been memeing since the 90s before memeing was a word.
Remember the
bravo, gentlemen.
The Juggalo chimp. That's an old ass meme of ours, dude. We were playing like threes with Architect, and you could not hold it together at the thought of a chimp walking down the street yelling "whoop whoop."
It still gets me.
That and like the Slavs in tracksuits. Slavs in tracksuits.
So there were a couple of like 2017, 2018.
Yeah.
Sid and I were just hanging out at a Discord party. And yeah, we went down the route of swag is for boys, Slav is for men.
Honestly, dude, I think it was very shortly after we were gonna collab. So it was like during NHL 17. This is how we became like friends. Like the collab that never worked.
Oh, it's my fault too. I'm sorry. One of these days.
No, it's totally.
I made up for it.
I'm
with
glad because we're now
there.
friends.
Yeah.
But yeah, I stayed up till almost 4 a.m. my time, so it was near 7 a.m. for you, just sending Slavic memes back and forth of dudes, dude, like the Transformer car.
There was a Transformer Slav squad.
Oh my god!
I will. Oh god, I will try to have it be. Let me see. Really quickly.
Because you changed your eShield name to Slav is for men. Like, I remember that.
So it will be the thumbnail for the video, everybody. And no, I sent the link in our little chat here, but yeah, that'll be the thumbnail for the video. If you were wondering what made I laugh 5-6 years.
Yes.
That is the foundation of our friendship, everybody.
Dude, that's just chappy. If you really think about it.
Oh my god.
Okay.
On the subject of Transformers, hey, it was a good transition.
Pretty fucking well. Thank you, Reds, for maybe the best question we've ever gotten. I'm still crying. Yeah, we'll have a decision to make. So far, potential episode titles: Deep Drive to Left, How Babby is Formed, Love is for Men.
Oh,
we got
this is a great start. Yeah, we're gonna have too many options by the end of it.
God, from RG Dust, can you name which Transformer? I'm gonna read this as he wrote it. Can you name which Transformer that John Goodman played? Hint: he was in Transformers 4 and 5.
I didn't even know there was a Transformers 4 and 5.
I didn't know. I have never seen a Transformers movie. I'll just put that out there.
John Goodman was the dad Transformer. Because that is
good.
He was like the fucking one with the cigar hanging out, right? I can't remember his fucking name.
Oh god.
Transformers smoking a cigar.
There was.
Like John Goodman's not allowed to play anybody else but a dad. Like
Pacha.
I don't care.
Best role, best dad ever.
God damn it!
He was in that chick flick movie, Coyote Ugly. Yes, yeah. I remember watching that movie. I'm like, oh, that's John Goodman.
Yeah, God,
and he had to be disappointed that his daughter was dancing.
Mm.
Like, hey.
I will say, 2007 was the best year of John Goodman's career, and I don't look it up because I'll tell you why. He was in 3 movies. First and foremost,
Flintstones.
B movie.
Oh, fuck.
Jerry Seinfeld's B movie. You like jazz? No, but I like John Goodman.
You like jazz? What?
Gotta like jazz to do it.
I thought you were going to go into You Pump Gas.
did you say?
I thought you were gonna go into like it sounded like you were gonna start saying "you pump gas" in the Jerry Seinfeld voice.
You pump gas. I'm a bean. You pump gas. I make millions losing pollen. You make gas.
What the hell?
That was for the NHL community right there. John Goodman in 2007 was also in Evan Almighty, the sequel to Bruce Almighty with Steve Carell. And played a dad in the movie Death Sentence.
Never saw those.
Bones Dark. So Death Sentence is actually a damn good movie. It has basically Kevin Bacon is John Wick before John Wick. If that doesn't sell you on it, I don't know what will. It is literally like Kevin Bacon is just a hockey dad, and he goes to the grocery store, and a bunch of bikers try to rob the store, and his son gets shot and killed. So he goes on a killing spree of the bikers.
Damn.
This is the same guy who was in fucking Footloose. It's amazing. It's one of my favorite movies of all time.
X-Men.
Oh, God,
some movie about river rafting in the 80s.
So anyway, John Goodman.
Look at this is my Kevin Bacon impression.
Oh God. I don't even know where to go from here. This might be our best one yet. This is great. See, I had no idea John Goodman was in Transformers. But I'm glad.
Do we get to know which Transformer he was, or does it matter?
So Transformers Age of Extinction and Transformers The Last Night, he played a character called Hound. Cool. I had to look it up because Lord knows I didn't know.
Yeah, I don't even know what he looks like.
Hound, the Transformer?
I think he looks like the thumbnail for the episode.
Told you, he's got a fucking cigar out of his mouth too the whole entire time.
I'm gonna have to Photoshop the squatting car in front of the house from Roseanne. God damn it. A hockey question from RG Dust. Boo.
Boo.
Will Ryan Nugent-Hopkins have any more 100-point seasons? He did reach that mark, as we talked about either earlier this week or last week, that the Oilers are now the first team since the mid to late 90s, 95, 96, I think it was, that has 3 players with at least 100 points. Look, his career high. Any guesses on what his career high in points happened to be prior to this season?
77.
Mendo?
69.
Nice! He got it!
Yeah!
What?
It is
Holy
actually
shit.
69 points.
That's amazing.
Yeah, and he has 100 points. So I will say, like, last year he had 50 points in 63 games, so he might have been able to make that up. But yeah, 100 points in 79 games played this year for Nuge. I wouldn't think so.
I think maybe one more time. But
it just depends on if they keep the setup that they have this year, right?
Yeah, it's highly dependent. Honestly, he maybe does it one more time. I can't really realistically see it happen again, but I would not put it past him to have a couple more point per game seasons. He's right smack in the middle of his prime, trending towards the tail end as he's 29 now. And prime, I don't know, they used to say ends around 34, probably now more around 32. So
should note too, like, he's only in the second year of that relative sweetheart deal. 8 years for 5,125.
Jesus.
Wow.
Yeah, they signed him. I mean, it's pretty fucking good for Ryan Nugent-Hopkins, man. I mean, again, he took the discount to be able to stay in Edmonton long term, and it's worked out fucking marvelously so far this year.
Crazy. Edmonton needs to win a cup. Like,
yeah,
they have Ryan Nugent. They have an incredible 2C. He could be a 2C, but like realistically 2, 3C, who can do everything. Like, Nuge can do everything. Like, I think he's extremely underrated in that sense. Like, he's solid defensively. He can take draws. He's obviously can produce. And that contract is ridiculous.
Yeah, I mean, it's weird, right? Because right now Cap Friendly has him listed with McDavid and Zach Hyman on the top line, Whereas originally the thought was like, oh, do they run McDavid, Draisaitl, Nuge down the middle? And it's like, how the hell do you compete with that? But obviously their depth on the wing kind of prevents that from happening. Like their third line right now, I should say, second line is Kane, Draisaitl, Yamamoto, and then Fogle, Bjugstad, Janmark. God help them if they didn't pick up Nick Bjugstad at the deadline. Jesus. So I mean, that's still kind of the thing for Edmonton is you always look at the top of it and it's like, oh, that's not too bad, and then you start to go down the bottom of the order and it's like role player, and if they fail in that role, you're boned. Oof. But that's been Oilers hockey since McDavid's been there. So
yeah.
But I mean, I would like to see it. I mean, again, for a former first overall pick, getting 100-point seasons, or 100-point season, 11 seasons into his career.
Imagine if they still had Hall and Eberle. There's a left winger and a right winger.
Yeah, but then, my sweet sin, would you be able to pay Darnell Nurse $9.25 on defense?
I hate that contract so much.
How the fuck do you get $9.25?
Because he's big and he can hit, and he hits sometimes.
Until 2030, by the way.
Such a bad.
Would you
contract.
be able to pay Cody Ceci $3.25 until 2025?
They're overpaying someone else, aren't they?
Would you be able to pay? I mean, Ekholm's making $6 million until 2026. That's
He's
not
worth
the worst.
it though.
Would you be able to pay Jack Campbell $5 million a year until 2027 with his 88 save percentage?
I'm thinking of the Blue Jackets with Goodbranson. Yeah,
you are. That's okay. Next up from Yosei, what player from your favorite teams would it break your heart more? Wait, I'm going to read this as it was written. What player from your favorites team would it break your heart more to see them with a rival? As I interpret this,
that was Babby Ford.
No offense, Yosei. So what player from your favorite team would it just be devastating to see play for your team's biggest rival?
Tomas Hertl.
Now, who would you consider your biggest rival?
Vegas.
Yeah, I figured.
I mean, it's not going to not be Vegas, despite the fact that we're trash and they're still playoff contender. It's not going to not be them until, I don't know. Like, it's hard. Like we had the LA and Anaheim rivalry for a while, but it's always, for me, your biggest rival is what's the most fresh. What's the most fresh playoff struggles and the biggest rivalry, and that's still Vegas. Like, we haven't faced LA since 2014 or 2012.
San Jose Sharks seasons. When is the last time the Sharks
faced
played the
Ducks in 2017 or 16?
So Golden Knights, Avs,
18.
Blues, Ducks, and Golden Knights in 2017-18.
Yeah, that was it.
Oilers, Kings 2015-16 in the first round.
Okay, yeah.
But so out of the other California teams, you've played the Ducks more recently, and then obviously Vegas more recently than that.
But that was when the rivalry kind of ceased to exist because we swept their ass in the first round. And then they went completely downhill. We followed a few years later. We're rivals in the hunt for Bedard. Yeah,
I actually have an update on Connor Bedard I was going to give later. The WHL playoffs are underway.
Yes.
Right now, it's Connor Bedard of the Regina Pats. It's a 2-2 split so far with the Saskatoon Blades. Connor Bedard in 4 playoff games has 13 points.
Yep.
So gross.
He's carrying that fucking team. Jesus.
He's from Regina. Regina? Drinks a lot of hand sanitizer.
Endo, favorite player on the Leafs, or player on the Leafs that would break your heart. Who do you, as a Leafs fan, consider your greatest? Because the Leafs fan's greatest rival is the Toronto Maple Leafs. You are your biggest rival. It's your favorite team, but they're also your least favorite team.
God, if I had a mirror, I'd just do I fucking hate you. Yeah, I can't despise you with the reflection
it's the
right
Spider-Man
there.
Me. Just pointing at
me. Oh, man. Quickly to divert from the actual question, because I'm deflecting like a true Maple Leaf fan. They made that joke in the new Spider-Man Far From Home thing, or whatever the new Spider-Man like action the animated movie is.
Was that
They're
when all
all
three of them were there
Spider-Man.
as Spider-Man?
Yeah,
Yeah.
and they're all like, get the Spider-Man. Every single one of them's like, you? Huh? Is this one? Is it that one? Huh? Like what? Okay, but to the actual question, I don't know. I legit don't know. Like every Leaf fan hates everybody. Everyone. I would want to see Justin Hall get traded and win somewhere else, just so that way, like every Leaf fan just goes nuts. But I think the worst guy you'd want to see leave is Austin Matthews.
But what team would he be on?
He would go on fucking Arizona. He's gonna go to Arizona.
No, this is not the question. What player from your favorite team would it break your heart to see with your biggest rival or a rival?
A rival.
So who do you not want to see in Boston or Tampa?
Who would I not want to see in Boston or Tampa? I don't know, man. Like, let me see. William Nylander.
Ooh, gimme.
Yeah. Yeah,
Gimme.
exactly. The fans want him out on a massive team-friendly $6.9 million contract, and although he's playing way over his fucking pay grade, like he's been great, he's been gritty, he's been all that. You know, he's been
playing a mascot. Man, he really does do it all.
Yeah, he does. Maybe.
Hey.
Who knows?
So yeah. I was thinking about the rival question, right? Because for a long time, it's like, oh, would you be upset if Patrice Bergeron, a guy from Quebec, went and played for the Habs? No. That's what he wanted to do, and he's like, yeah, I want to play for Montreal. Dude, Ray Bourque could have done that. I wouldn't have been upset. It is what it is. So, God, the biggest rival for the Bruins right now is Carolina. They've played Carolina in 3 out of the last 4 postseasons. It is easily Boston and Carolina more so than anybody else right now. God, but then the answer of who would it break my heart to see on the other side? I mean, because realistically, it's not going to be Pasternak. It's probably not going to be Patrice Bergeron unless he's just like, hey, Rod, let's do this.
Who would break your heart the most? Yeah, who would break your heart the most to be on Carolina? Not like realistically at all. Just who would you hate to see on Carolina more than anyone else?
Charlie McAvoy. Yeah, I think I got to go with Charlie McAvoy. I mean, yeah,
he'd shut down a lot.
Yeah,
I mean, given all the antics too.
Yeah, I mean, the answer would have been Pasternak, but obviously I can't put myself in that mindset because like he resigned, and I'm not putting myself in any fucking mindset. Fuck you, he's ours. Thank you. You know, I mean, oof. Okay, theoretical. If Jake DeBrusk had been traded, given how good he's been this year, had the situation popped up where he was actually traded. And say he went to a team like Carolina and was doing as well for Carolina as he's doing for Boston this year. 25 goals in 59 games, by the way. Yeah, that would have been devastating. So
yeah. Good for Jake, by the way. I'm glad he got it together.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's not like he didn't have it together. He probably was a combination of not getting the playing time he wanted, or I don't know what the hell it was, but new coach, new system, and goddamn, he's looking good. That's why I wanted him. I really did want him at the time. I'm like, yeah, it'd be a good player to add to our younger team. But yeah.
Yeah, he has it's his best point total season-wise. Yeah, he's been a guy who's been good for 40, maybe being able to push for 50 points if a full season's played. So it is nice to see that he stuck around and God, I'm sorry. I thought about Charlie McAvoy in a Hurricanes jersey, and now my brain's just gone.
Yeah.
We're at 34 minutes into the show, by the way, and still on viewer questions. That's the sign of a great episode. From Foresight Hogan, most intriguing matchup of the first round if the playoffs were to start today.
Devils versus Rangers.
Yeah.
100%, dude. Like that.
Yelling from across the harbor.
Like that's already always been a great rivalry. But yeah, straight up, dude. They're both like have a good mix of young and I mean, I guess the Rangers have a few more older talent players than the Devils do, but I want to see that matchup so bad. Like,
and it's likely, as the Devils have 4 games left on 106 points. The Hurricanes have 5 games left on 109.
yeah.
So Carolina, who have won 6 of their last 10 and 3 in a row, would really have to drop the ball to lose that ground to the Rangers, or to the Devils, excuse me. The Rangers on 103 points. They're not going to get above Carolina. So, but yeah, so aside from that, if it were to end today, Toronto would play Tampa, Boston would play the New York Islanders, and the Hurricanes would play the Florida Panthers. That's in the East.
Wow.
Worth noting as well, in the East, for the first time since 2014, the Washington Capitals will not make the playoffs. That was the really weird year where Adam Oates was their coach. And I might be wrong on this, but I think that was the Ovi unplugged controller meme, that gif where he just stops.
It might have been, because
it might have been before that, though, to be honest.
Mark Recchi talked shit on Tomas Hertl that year. Fucker. When Tomas Hertl went between the legs and ended Marty Baron's career.
Yeah.
Mark Recchi of all people. Like,
was that that was the 4th goal of his hat trick too.
The 4th
I believe he scored 4 goals that game.
Yeah.
Joe Thornton and his.
Yeah, that's where all the good quotes and memes come from. It's like, he was 19, man. He's from like, it's crazy. And then Don Cherry had a whole segment on him too, to trash on him.
Czechoslovakia.
They don't get it. They're not from here. They don't understand. You don't do that.
You know, Don Cherry would do a lot better in baseball, considering how of a purist he is of the game.
All the unwritten rules.
He would not, because baseball is a significantly less white sport than hockey.
You know what? Yeah,
look at these pitchers coming over here from Venezuela.
I didn't know if Venezuela is on a map. The name of my housekeeper. Like, you know, that's where he'd go.
Yeah. It does sound like Consuela. Consuela.
No, daddy, afuera.
Venezuela clean.
No.
We need more lemon page.
God.
And afuera.
You go get some. No, you clean.
No. No.
No.
So, in the West, right? Actual hockey, I guess. I don't think anything tops New Jersey, New York. I don't think anything does. If the season were to end today, Dallas would play Minnesota. Which would be... And those having a time.
I don't even know what was said that was so funny, but there he is.
No, it's the Joe Biden, Minnesota. And
No, he's been laughing. No, but he's been laughing like this.
It was the Venezuela clean.
Oh, are we good? I think we can risk it. There was a slight disconnect for a second. I think we're okay.
I didn't even see it.
Nothing seems to have stopped. Auto tracks are so good. Okay. Dallas would play Minnesota. Edmonton would play LA. Colorado would play Seattle. And Vegas would play Winnipeg. Speaking of which, Seattle can clinch their first ever playoff berth tonight, which is awesome. Again, the West is super interesting wild card wise. You know, Seattle, Winnipeg, Calgary, Nashville, they're all right there. The Preds are still in it. I saw a stat that Calgary has the NHL's worst save percentage since the All-Star break, which is an .872.
Lol.
So that's fun. I think it still has to be that New Jersey, New York matchup. But I did see, this is kind of a side question I wanted to
Toronto Tampa is a close second for me, though.
Yeah. Because if Toronto loses, just give up. Move your team. Move your team to Phoenix.
Switch Phoenix and Toronto. That way Austin Matthews will stay on the Leafs. Got him.
We have solved all the world's issues. If your favorite team doesn't win the cup, which LOL sin, essentially, if Endo can't root for the Leafs, I can't root for the Bruins. For the three of us, who would you root for in the playoffs to win the cup? And honestly, I'm just going to go through the teams that are in the playoffs. If you are against the idea of them winning the cup, say so. If you're like, yeah, cool. If they win, that's fine. Just we'll move on. Carolina.
Against. I don't know why, but they piss me off. It's the fucking bunch of jerks thing that they pounded.
It's the social
into the
media
ground.
team.
It is. It's the
mad.
owner and the social media team. God damn.
Despite them, I feel like, again, being the Bruins' biggest rival right now, I wouldn't be against it because I do love that. Like, they've gone too far with it in a sense, but I do love that they fucking stuck it to people like Don Cherry in the first place with the bunch of jerk stuff.
Yeah.
And dude, Rod Brindamore is such a good fucking coach. I'd love to see Dougie Hamilton with a cup, so front offices in Boston and Calgary can be like, "Boy, we fucked up, didn't we?"
I wouldn't mind it as much because Burnsy's there and stuff, but like, at the same time, man, yeah, it's something about the owner who's desperate. They're always desperate for a rival, and like they've been like they have this like little brother syndrome thing going on. Like, yeah, for a while there, the social media was just like going way too ham. Trying to keep they were just, to me, it's like they just tried to keep it going for too long. They didn't let it naturally become, they didn't let it naturally evolve. They're just trying to fucking ride the high.
The only reason I'd root against them is because they do have a cup, but a lot of teams that are in the playoffs have won before, so I don't feel like that automatically disqualifies them for me, especially because it's been long enough, Yeah. I mean, it's been over 15 years now since they won the Stanley Cup.
Oh my god.
I know. It's terrible, isn't it?
Ugh.
The New Jersey Devils. Yeah, I didn't feel like any of us would abstain to the Devils. Jack Hughes and company. I mean...
Yeah, I would love to see him win. Plus, my buddy's a Devils fan, so...
There you go.
Good for him.
New York Rangers.
And Timo. Yep. No, I don't want to see him win the cup.
No?
No, they have a very... no. They're very similar to Leafs fans, that fan base. Holy crap. I don't know what it is. It's mostly the fan bases or social media that bugs me. It's damn, something about New York. Anytime a team gets good again and they have a relatively large fan base, they start pissing me off.
Fair enough.
Wow, with this great city.
New episode title: Sin addresses his enemies.
All you guys suck. No, just kidding. I don't know. I don't know what it is. It's just
it is what it is. It's fine. We'll obviously skip Boston and Toronto. Although, Sin, your thoughts? Okay, I'll say I'm not against the Leafs winning a cup. Endo, are you against the Bruins winning a cup?
Not really. I want to see anybody win. I don't have an enemy. I'm just a fucking NPC in a National Hockey League, so at the end of the day, I don't really give a fuck.
I would obviously love to see Boston win.
Yeah.
Because they've looked so dominant so far, and I want you to be happy.
Yeah, thank you, friend.
You don't want me to be happy? What the fuck?
Now what about the Leafs?
Yes, unless they get eliminated in the first round. If they get past the first round, I want them to kind of go all the way, although it's close between them and Boston. But I do want to see them lose in the first round again, just because the memes. And I'm sorry, Endo, and I'm sorry to Steve Dangle especially, but I can't wait for that video. To be honest, I want that losing Game 7 first round video.
Dude, one of the best days of my life, I swear. I don't think it was the last day I was in Vancouver, but I was in Vancouver. And waking up, if I'm not mistaken, or it was just before going to bed. I just remember being tired and seeing the alert for Leafs lost in Game 7 in 2019.
Oh.
And just be I was definitely already there because I got to watch Game 1 Bruins Blue Jackets because that was the year the Blue Jackets beat Tampa.
And you watched Game 7 Vegas Sharks, didn't you?
Yeah, so I got that's right.
Sleeves was brushing his teeth.
Yes. So I got to see. I was in Vancouver. Would have either watched it before bed or woken up, getting to see the Game 7 reaction. It was still in Vancouver, getting to watch the beginning of that series. But yeah. I've told that story before. I was in Vancouver again visiting EA Studios out in Burnaby, bunch of other people were there, including one no sleeves, and we all got together in, I think it was Sleeves' room, to watch Game 7, Sharks, and it was the Knights, wasn't it? No. Yeah. What was it? What
Sharks
was it?
and
Yeah,
Vegas.
Sharks and Knights.
Of course, that's the 4-goal power play.
Exactly. And literally anytime we discovered that the Sharks were on a power play, Sleeves would sprint to the bathroom and start brushing his teeth for the entire duration of the power play, which I have to say is a great method to have tremendous dental hygiene.
Yeah, I wish I had
as funny
something
as
like
it
that.
is, it's very practical.
I gotta fucking remind myself of it constantly. 2 times a day.
So that was phenomenal. Yeah, I'm with Sin in terms of Toronto. Like, look, if they get past the first round, fucking do the thing. But man, you lose in the first round again, it's gonna be great. Tampa, I object because I'm a white liberal cuck who cares about people's safety. You guys have won enough.
Yeah.
Fuck off. Although, in fairness, if they fucking win again, I won't. Okay, I honestly won't be that mad. I'm not gonna root for you to win again. But if Tampa wins another cup, Jesus Christ.
It's been a while since we've been able to say dynasty. The closest thing was Chicago.
Greatness if they win another cup. Like, fuck, man. 3 and 4 years?
Mm-hmm. That's
Crazy.
a dynasty, in my opinion. Modern day, whatever. It's a fucking dynasty.
Then the Eastern wildcard teams. We'll kind of go through these a bit faster, maybe. I'm not in any rush, though. Florida Panthers?
Don't care.
I'm kind of indifferent, too. I'm not against it.
It'd be funnier to me if they missed the playoffs without their picks.
Jesus, yeah, no kidding. Yeah, but the Panthers, I'm not against it. If they were to go deeper into the playoffs, I'd be rooting for them in a sense if the Bruins were out, as the question states. But in a sense, it's just like they've gotten to, like, last year especially, it's like they get out of the opening round and then they just didn't show up against Tampa. So it's like I refuse to kind of put any hope in you to
like
actually.
Vasilevsky was good, and the defense just completely stifled whatever Florida was trying to do. They're way too rush heavy of a team.
Yeah,
and they paid for it.
New York Islanders.
Kind of indifferent.
Yeah, I'd be cool. Like, I'm not rooting against the Rangers. I'd be more happy about the Islanders winning, just because it's always that feeling of like their little brother to the Rangers, like the Mets and the Yankees. So it'd be kind of funny to see little brother win.
Yeah, I always vote for an underdog in that situation.
Yeah.
Also, fuck the Yankees.
And then presumably, mathematically, they're not out, but Detroit, Ottawa, Buffalo, you're probably not going to make it. A lot needs to go their way. So that leaves Pittsburgh as the last team in the East that has a decent shot of making the playoffs. I don't know. I wouldn't root against Pittsburgh because, again, greatness, Crosby winning. But I'm not going to, like... It'd be Crosby's 4th.
Jesus. Wait.
Yeah, 2000.
Oh, yeah, they had the back-to-backs. Yeah, I forgot
2009 and the back-to-backs, yeah.
Yeah.
Again, I wouldn't want to root against greatness necessarily, but are there other teams I'd like to see win more than them because we've seen Pittsburgh win recently? Yes.
Yeah. I always, for some reason, that year that it was Nashville and Pittsburgh in the finals, it's like I don't really have recollection of it, like, at all. Probably because the year before it was so fucking painful.
Traumatizing?
Yeah.
Yeah. Could have been a Boston-San Jose Cup final in 2019, too.
Yeah, I don't know if that would have been better, but hey.
I mean, hey. Bruins might have won, so it would have been a little bit better for me.
Fuck you. Goddamn Blues concussed half our team.
Ours, too. Go figure.
Yeah, and then complained about the refs the entire time.
Yeah.
Fucking unreal, dude.
With the head coach
who
used to be a goon.
Anyway.
Western Conference, Colorado. Not rooting for them, but not rooting against greatness.
No, definitely not. Like, I would love to see all those dudes win again, just because everyone said they were toast this year.
Yeah. Dallas has Jason Robertson. I'm 100% rooting for Dallas.
Dallas has Pavelski, 100%. I would love to see them win. I want it to be a Dallas versus Boston final.
Ooh. Oh, Sagan against the Bruins in the final?
Yeah, and Ottinger.
Oh, but how much can you really root for Dallas when their captain is Jamie Benn?
Enough.
Just enough.
Yeah,
They
just
also have-
enough.
They also have Joel Kiviranta, franchise mode legend. For
He,
me,
he
so.
can go down in history since he doesn't go down elsewhere.
Minnesota.
Soda.
I would be okay with it. Like,
Yeah.
especially because they have all that dead cap the next few years.
Oh yeah.
I'd be completely fine with them being rewarded and then being awful.
You know, I was going to mention it a little bit later on. We can side tangent here before going through the rest of these. In regards to the Minnesota Wild, Marc-Andre Fleury is now set to play in his 17th consecutive playoffs, which he already owns the record amongst goaltenders in NHL history. Do you guys have any guesses, though, of who else is up there in regards to this streak? Most consecutive years in the playoffs.
Chris Osgood.
No, Chris Osgood is not there. Shockingly.
Active or is it active or all time?
All time.
It's all time. None of these players are currently active anymore.
Martin Brodeur.
No, even he didn't.
It's the fucking the weird ass like old school teams
Patrick
from like
Waugh.
the 40s.
God damn it.
Is it a Canadian?
So at 17 straight seasons, you had 3 players. Ray Bourque for the Bruins between
goalies.
No,
I was just thinking of goalies the whole time.
Sorry. I was going to say, no, Fleury has the record for goalies. It was the other options that were out there. Sorry, maybe I worded it a bit awkwardly. So, yeah, in terms of 17 consecutive playoff appearances, again, Fleury is about to join this list. Ray Bourque with the Bruins, 1980 to 1996. A lot of people don't realize the Bruins consistently made the playoffs. They just didn't do a fucking thing. Chris Draper between 94 and 2011.
You're telling me Defoe never won a cup? Crazy.
Or Jim the Net Detective Carey. And also at 17, Brad Park from 1969 to 1985, former Bruin Ranger. At 18, Larry Murphy between 1984 and 2001, 18 straight seasons in the playoffs.
Crazy.
Brett Hull, 86 to 2004, 19 straight seasons of being on a playoff team. And then there are 2 tied at number 20. I'll give you a chance to try and name one of them. Think about some of the players I've named already and the teams they may have played for. There's one player in particular. Now, they are both defensemen, but there's one player in particular. Think about
Bobby Orr.
Not Bobby Orr. More recent.
20 years in a row.
20 years in a row.
It's Detroit. Oh, no.
No, you're on the right track, Detroit.
I know, and I'm trying to think of who was there and then, but who bounced around.
Yes, there you go, Endo.
Was it?
Yeah,
Shit, I was going to say Chelios.
So the 2 defensemen, the 2 guys who have the record for most consecutive playoff appearances, both 20 years, Larry Robinson between 1973 and 1992, and then Nick Lidstrom from 1992 to 2012. That is insane company for Marc-Andre Fleury as a fucking goalie to be on teams that are this consistently good. But yeah, the fact that there are, like, literally for Lidstrom and Robinson, you're talking about essentially their entire fucking careers they made the playoffs. It's insanity. So an interesting stat. Difficult to name, of course, but hey.
I mean, when's the last time a goaltender also went first overall? Like, he's been fantastic.
Fleury, wasn't it?
But before him, I meant, like, when's the last time? Yeah. Oh God. Ew. Yeah.
Yeah. I know for a fact.
I was gonna say first overall, man, he's got a good chance of being great. And then DiPietro was the last.
We went over this before. And first overall, I know we've talked about this on the show before. It's Fleury, DiPietro, and another goalie that nobody really knows. It's Michel Placé, who went first overall to Montreal in the 1968 draft. Only 3 goalies all time have ever gone first overall.
And he won a cup in 1973 with the Canadiens.
And 2 of them are French.
There you go. That's the key to success. Be French. There you go. Quickly to wrap this up, Pacific Division. Anybody against Vegas winning a cup?
Yes. Never. You guys better not be indifferent. I need your support. Fuck you, Endo.
I'll support you on this. You said you'd root for the Bruins. I will support you. Fuck you, Vegas. That's right. I'm a Sabres fan now, too. Jack Eichel is trash.
I mean, to be fair, they did treat Fleury like shit, and Fleury is my favorite goalie.
They've treated everyone like shit, bro. That's what the organization does.
Yeah, whatever happens in Vegas stays in Vegas.
Hey, they've been very nice to William Karlsson.
Unless you're a hockey player, you don't stay in Vegas.
What happens in Vegas stays in Vegas, except for the hockey players.
Yep.
The Edmonton Oilers. Anybody against them? Are you for it or against it?
I'm for it. I would love to see McDavid win.
Yeah, Connor McDavid. Don't root against greatness. The LA Kings winning a cup.
Yeah, I'm against it.
I'm in the same spot where, like, look, I didn't think they'd be this good. A 100-point team. If they go deep, I'll start being like, oh, shit, depending on who they're playing, I'm going to root for them. But, yeah, I mean, you have 2 cups within the past 11 years. So, I'd like to see someone else win.
Although it'd be kind of cool to see them, like, beat Vegas in the playoffs to advance further. At that point, I'd cheer for them to win a fucking cup. They're not as big of a rival anymore. And, like, if the Sharks aren't contending, I don't care about winning the cup. The worst thing was that they beat us en route.
The wild card teams really quickly. Seattle.
Wouldn't mind.
Yeah, who the hell's going to root against Seattle? Cool. Like, come on.
Oh.
Winnipeg. Calgary. Nashville.
Yeah,
I'm not rooting against any of those teams.
I'm not, really against any of them.
Calgary, I'm just frustrated by them because we talked about Daryl Sutter and how good last season was, and then they blew it against Edmonton in the playoffs. And then this season, it's like you pull off this big fucking trade. It's like, really, you're struggling to make the playoffs. That's disappointing. But if they were to make it, I mean, I'd love to see Daryl Sutter ride off back to the farm, Stanley Cup ring. And, hey, it'd be a fun time.
Puts that on his middle finger and flips off the media one more time.
Just ride off into the sunset, finger in the air. Daryl Sutter. Beautiful. Oh, God. So with that, that might as well be the show. We do have a couple more things to talk about really quickly, but thank you guys for the viewer questions. Let's get to a couple of these other topics here to round things out. Wanted to mention this for those who haven't heard. There is going to be a war in the state of Arizona because the city of Phoenix is being accused essentially by the Coyotes of trying to fuck things up. This comes from Craig Morgan, who does cover the Coyotes and ASU hockey. Also a member of the PHWA, the Pro Hockey Writers Association. The Arizona Coyotes development arm files a notice of claim seeking $2.3 billion from Phoenix City Hall in response to, quote, ridiculous complaint filed by Sky Harbor. So Coyotes allege that the city of Phoenix is seeking to sabotage the Tempe Entertainment District and is reneging on their public promise to not oppose the deal in any way. Again, there's a lot more to this, of course. But again, it comes down to the fact that the Coyotes the reason our deal hasn't happened yet is the city of Phoenix is trying not to let that deal go through. Bluebird, who of course is a part of ownership and everything, is seeking damages because Phoenix is, quote, knowingly and intentionally interfering with its business because Bluebird relied on Sky Harbor's previous statements indicating it would not be in opposition, as we talked about, for the move. Phoenix is demanding that Tempe prevent future residential developments in the district and for Tempe to agree to Phoenix's expansion efforts. So you could read into this as Phoenix is saying, oh, if you get this new place, maybe the Suns move to... We can't have that. We're gonna need you to kind of do these things and help us out here. So yeah, the reason why the news is probably slowing down a little bit on the Coyotes getting that new place in Tempe is the city of Phoenix might be putting a little bit of pressure to try and protect themselves in the future from losing another professional sports franchise. If there was any team that this was going to happen to in the NHL, it was going to be the Coyotes.
Yeah.
Hey man,
So-
if they get those 2.3 billion, they'll never just be a cap floor team again.
Whew. No
Although
shit.
the owners might pocket it, you never know.
Yeah. So keep an eye on that. At Craig S. Morgan on Twitter. I know he'll continue to follow that story, but that is worth keeping an eye on. If you were wondering, like, oh, weren't we supposed to hear more about the Coyotes and that new arena deal, and it's their first year at ASU's place and what's going on? That is why there is a war in the state of Arizona that could really fuck up the entire future of the Coyotes, let's be honest. Had another interesting thing that I saw on the Reddit side of things. There was a post yesterday saying, meet the under 100 club. It is a list of players that are under a minus 100 in their NHL careers so far. And I thought this was an interesting list. Now, again, we could go anybody that you think is on this list, or I could just go through and it's like, hey, is that surprising to you? What do you guys think?
just go through the list. I don't want to guess on that. Plus
At
minus
a
is a trash stat anyway.
At a negative 102, Andreas Athanasiou. Not a surprise. He played on a terrible Detroit team.
Yeah.
He's on Chicago now.
Oh, yeah.
At negative 111, Eric Goodbranson.
5
No surprise.
No.
Zero.
Not at all. I mean, Florida, then everywhere that was trash.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Negative 120, Jeff Petrie.
That's kind of surprising.
Edmonton,
No,
Montreal,
it's not. Yeah, I
Pittsburgh.
forgot. He was on Edmonton before Montreal. Yeah. Never mind.
Negative 122, Damon Severson. A little bit surprising, but the Devils have been bad for most of his tenure.
Yeah, okay.
Negative 128, Oliver Ekman-Larsson.
Not surprised.
Mm.
I mean, those Arizona teams were bad.
Negative 132, Jeff Skinner.
That's kind of surprising. But Carolina was shit during those days. Still, I didn't expect it to be that bad, especially with how much he scores. Is
Right.
he power play merchant or what?
Negative 134, Jack Johnson.
Not surprised.
Negative 136, Kyle Okposo. Islanders, Sabres.
Yeah.
Not really surprised.
Negative 137, Sam Gagne.
Yeah.
Around on a lot of
Yeah.
bad teams. Edmonton,
Yeah.
Detroit.
What is he up to now?
That's true. Oh, I'm thinking of someone else.
I think
Sorry.
Gagne is... Oh, God. Where does Sam Gagne play? I wanted to say Detroit. I'm like, that's not right. I'm pretty sure it's Winnipeg.
He's with the Jets.
He is with the Jets, yeah. He's been on a lot of teams, man. We won't go into a quiz about the teams he's played for. The bottom two. Right now, the worst active forward in the NHL in terms of career plus minus with a minus 156.
Ooh,
Phil Kessel.
Ooh,
Yeah.
that's ouch.
Yeah.
Ouch.
So Phil Kessel, again, it was Sam Gagne at negative 137, Kessel at a negative 156. The second worst defenseman is Jack Johnson at a negative 134. The worst defenseman and the worst player in the league at a negative 175.
Wow.
Any guesses?
Negative 175 for a defenseman.
Yeah. He's played a lot of games, 677.
Chris Russell?
Not Chris Russell. I think Chris
don't know.
Russell's not an active roster this year. So,
Oh, he's not? Oh, Jesus.
Nope. But keep thinking about players on bad teams.
I was thinking of Edmonton. Clefbaum.
I
We
got
mentioned a
nothing.
lot of Buffalo today.
We did. Oh, goodness gracious. Is it Tyler Myers?
No, shockingly.
Damn.
Ristolainen.
Rasmus Ristolainen.
Wow.
That sucks.
Negative
Poor guy.
175.
Jeez.
Oof. I mean,
As
yeah,
Sin mentioned.
Buffalo and then now Philly.
As you mentioned, plus minus, not a great stat. But when it starts to get to extremes, it does say a little bit about, cool, you've probably been a bad player on a bad team.
Yeah.
Or at least have consistently been on bad teams. And yeah, shout out to Rasmus Ristolainen. The poor guy. The poor guy. Two other things, really quickly. We'll have stat time, but first, the AHL. Wanted to mention this too because this was kind of out of nowhere. The AHL Chicago Wolves have announced that they are planning on being the first independent AHL team since 1994-95 when the Worcester Ice Cats were independent. Their 3-year deal with the Carolina Hurricanes ends after this season. What is interesting about this is how they plan on filling out a roster. Obviously, I mean, kind of notice if you pay attention to hockey, play franchise mode, the benefit of being an AHL team that's affiliated with an NHL team is that, you know, you get a bunch of players to help fill out the lineup. There is a developmental rule in the AHL. Basically, that says that an AHL lineup can only consist of 6 veterans. Veteran players are defined as someone who have played less than 260 professional games. Professional games counting as NHL, AHL, elite level Euro leagues. ECHL doesn't count. Of those 6, one must also have fewer than 320 pro games. So I am very intrigued to see what the hell they're going to do, because you're not allowed to like franchise mode it where it's like, okay, who's the oldest guy? I'm going to sign Luke Glendening, Alex Chason, this guy to fill out my team. No, there's a reason why these clubs have these affiliations, and it's so like, oh yeah, cool, you'll provide us the prospects, we can sign a couple of veterans to fill out the team. They are not going to have those provided prospects. I'm intrigued to see what happens.
Is there a veteran limit still?
Yeah, it's 6 players.
Oh, okay. I didn't know if that was just for affiliated teams or not. I misheard. Damn, that sucks.
I have a feeling I know what they're gonna do. They're gonna get a lot of players loaned to them, so they won't host them. Like they won't like have them like to be send them a call down. They'll be like, for example, if you want to send, let's say, for example, you send down fucking any player to the A, they don't have to report to the AHL team. They can report to any AHL team in the AHL. That's why for a period of time, Sam Gagner was with the Edmonton Oilers, but he reported to the Marlies for the playoff run because you can report to any team. So it's going to be a lot of that happening. It just means that there's going to be less micromanaging, or it's going to be less micromanaging for Chicago in a way. So you don't have to worry about having to send a guy up and losing him for the year. It'll be very interesting to see how this works.
They do have a pretty notorious ownership group, so this is just kind of another part of that. One thing I forgot to add to our little run sheet here. Endo, good news for the Leafs. Ryan O'Reilly is back.
Yeah,
as they'll be playing the Boston Bruins, which will be a fun one. In response to this, though, again, I happened to see someone put together a list of the remaining visorless players in the NHL, because there's only 8 of them, including Ryan O'Reilly. Any guesses on any of the other 7 players who are still allowed to not wear a visor because they joined the league before the rule was made that they are now mandatory?
Let's see.
Jamie Benn.
Getzlaf is retired.
Yeah.
Jamie Benn?
Yeah, Jamie Benn is on the list. Very good.
Ryan Reeves.
Jordy Benn.
Ryan Reeves is also on the list. Very good.
Yeah.
Jordy Benn is on the list too. Very good.
3.
4 left.
Milan Lucic is one of them.
Damn, good job, boys.
Zach Cassian.
Zach Cassian is on the list. Well done. 2 left.
Fuck. Wayne Simmons is one of them. I know that.
No, he's not actually. At least he's not on this. That might be right, but he's not on this list.
Is he in the NHL?
Maybe Wayne Simmons isn't on the list because he was with the Marlies when this was made. I don't know. He might still be with the Marlies. There are 2 players left.
I just checked. He wears one right now.
We have a forward and a defender that are still left.
Fuck.
I'm
Matt Martin.
Matt Martin.
Yeah. Matt Martin, well done. The last defender. Can you get him?
Fucking Tyler Myers or some shit.
No,
No,
he's way too young.
Kevin Yandel.
Kevin, it's Keith Yandel. But no.
Kevin Yandel. Hold on, don't tell me yet. I need to make a guess or two.
Okay,
Keith
I
Yandel.
could give some
Alright.
hints, but you guys have done very well so far.
Wait a second. Hold on a second. Hold on. Technically speaking, Wayne Simmons is exempt from the rule, but he wears one instead.
Cool. That's not what we're talking about then. So who's
Fuck
this
you.
last player?
Defenseman.
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 Was drafted 3rd overall in 2008 by the Atlanta Thrashers.
The fuck?
Uh-huh.
What the hell? Endo's
I'm
looking
gonna
it
look
up.
this up and see like what the fuck it was. It'd be bad.
Has played for, obviously, Atlanta, Winnipeg, Tampa, Buffalo, and Toronto.
What?
Wait. You said Toronto? Is it
Cody.
fucking Bogo for Norris?
Zach Bogosian. There you go.
Oh my God.
Oh,
I forgot
yeah,
that
yeah,
fucker's
yeah.
still playing in the league.
He was drafted 3rd overall?
Yeah.
Holy shit.
3rd overall in 2008.
Is he a
Sandwiched
right-handed
between 2008. Here's the top 5. Steven Stamkos,
Yep.
Drew Doughty, Zach Bogosian, Alex Pietrangelo, and Luke Shen. He was drafted between Doughty and Pietrangelo.
Ouch.
Woo! Eric Carlson went 15th that year.
Yes, he did.
John Carlson went 27th.
Shout out
God
Kyle
damn.
Beach, 11th
Good job,
overall.
boys. That's a tough one to think of, but you guys fucking nailed that. Good stuff.
Hell yeah, we did.
And then just a couple other random things I saw. Joe Pavelski and Claude Giroux are both on the verge of 1,000 career points. Pavelski's 4 away. Giroux is 5 away. Hopefully they both hit that this season. San Jose Sharks legend Dawson Mercer scored his first career hat trick the other day.
Dawson's Creek.
It's fine. Muka Madulin is doing tremendous in the AHL, so I don't give a fuck.
There you go. Nathan McKinnon became the first Avs player to reach 100 points in a season since Joe Sakic in 06-07.
Lol.
That
How did
was
he not have 100 before, though? Damn.
Yeah, so that's honestly, I was wanting to look this up really quickly, and I'm on Hockey Reference. So the leading scorer in 07-08 was Paul Stastny with 71. The next year, 59 points for both Milan Hajduk and Ryan Smith. Yeah. 2010, 79 points for Paul Stastny. 2011, 67 points for Matt Duchene. 2012, 55 points for Ryan O'Reilly. God, 2013, 43 points, lockout shortened year, but 43 points for Matt Duchene and P.A. Parento, Leafs legend.
Oh my God.
2014, 70 points for Duchene. It's not really surprising. I mean, again, dude, 2015, 59 points for Landeskog and Jerome McGinley to lead the way. They had some fucking rough years, man, while they were trying to build back up.
Yeah,
Jesus.
I remember that.
Whew. Goddamn. And a Connor McDavid stat to wind things down. First and foremost, he has 147 points this season. If he were to play 16 more seasons, averaging at least 1.5 per game, he would still not beat Wayne Gretzky's record.
Yeah.
That's
It's
more
silly.
of a Gretzky stat.
Yeah.
But reason why I bring that up, his 147 points this season is tied for 20th most all time and tied for 6th most by someone other than Mario Lemieux and Wayne Gretzky.
Nice.
So looking at this list, in terms of highest point totals ever, nobody has hit 160 points in a season aside from Lemieux or Gretzky. Lemieux did it 1, 2, 3, 4 times. Gretzky did it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 times with at least 100 and 60 points, which is just pure insanity, right? And it's a shame Sin had to step away for a minute, Endo. But you know what we're gonna do? We're gonna stretch. We're gonna stretch for time. Who needs edits? We don't.
Yeah. A stretch for time. What's his name? Bald guy who plays for the fucking Maple Leafs, who just came here this year. Mark Giordano plays in 1,100 games as of today.
Hey,
that's a lot. Also, Mark Giordano, the current record holder for block shots.
Yes, he passed Chris Russell.
Yeah.
Noted undrafted defenseman, Mark Giordano.
Yeah, noted KHL alumni, Mark Giordano. Yeah.
When the hell did that happen?
I mean, Super League, but like KHL.
What? When?
Remember,
I didn't know that. Was that a lockout year?
He went to arbitrate a deal, and then it didn't go through, so he played a year in the KHL. We went over this so many times.
Oh, shit. I didn't remember. Hi, Sin. Welcome back.
Oh, sorry.
It's okay.
Did you need me?
Yeah, kind of. Because you're better with stuff like this. No offense, Endo. To this point, right? We were talking about it. You have Connor McDavid on 146 points, 147. Tied for 20th most of all time, most points in a season. Tied for 6th most by someone other than Mario Lemieux or Wayne Gretzky. Wayne Gretzky had 9 seasons with at least 160 points or more. Lemieux had 4. Do you know the players that are ahead of Connor McDavid in terms of those who have more points than him in a year? Because right now he passed Mike Bossy, who had a career high of 147. He is tied with Pat LaFontaine with 148 points, equaling LaFontaine's best season. There are 4 players to have had more than 148 points in a season, not named Lemieux or Gretzky. Any guesses?
Yager.
Yager is one of them, 149, so he could easily pass Yager still.
The
other
so
three are
higher than Connor McDavid has now.
Yes.
Okay. And he is at 147. Okay.
Yeah. Honestly, you got the one that it's like, okay, you would have been frustrated if you didn't get that one.
Yeah.
You won't get these next two, so I'll give them to you. Bernie Nichols on the 88-89 Kings had 150 points, and then on the 70-71 Bruins, Phil Esposito had 152. Theoretically, I mean, again, he needs 4 points to tie Esposito in his final few games. That could happen.
Mm-hmm.
But then there's a guy on 155 points in the 88-89 season that people are like, I don't know if he can catch him.
88-89.
Think of him more as a 90s player.
Yeah, it's not Stevie Y, is it?
It is.
Yeah,
very good. Yeah, Steve Yzerman. Well done. So, yeah, this is crazy, and it comes from statmuse.com. The fact that, again, you are looking at Connor McDavid in the same list as the Gretzky's, the Lemieux. He's already rivaled the best season that Pat LaFontaine, Mike Bossy, Adam Oates ever had amongst the highest scoring seasons in NHL history. And he could top the highest number ever set by Yager, Bernie Nichols, Phil Esposito. And if he really goes off, maybe even Steve Yzerman in the modern day NHL.
8 points in 5 games?
I believe so.
How many does he have? Dude, I hope he does it.
Yeah, the Oilers right now
They have 2 games against San Jose, man.
They have 3 games left. They're on 79 games played.
Damn. Okay. 8 points in 3 games is tough, but
it is.
Hey, San Jose. They got 2 games against San Jose.
So what we're saying here, folks, watch the Oilers' final few games of the season if you can. Because
this is going to be great because I get to say I'm watching the Sharks, but really I'm trying to watch Connor McDavid.
Right. And at the same time, the better Connor McDavid does, the more the Sharks might get closer to the bottom of the standings. So.
Yes.
Good things can happen. Speaking of which, the update on that to end the show, the Sharks are still in 4th from the bottom, 4 points above Chicago.
They're probably ending up in 4th.
Yeah, so they're on 60 points,
sucks.
77 games. Chicago and Columbus are both on 56 points in 77 games, and Anaheim's on 56, but in 78 games played. So technically the Ducks are the worst team in the league right now. So we'll see how it plays out. Gentlemen, let's be honest. The second we started actually talking about hockey, the show went downhill. No, it didn't. It was fun. Gentlemen, this was a good one. Thank you, as always, for joining me for these and on another week's worth of the show. It was a good one, and we're getting that much closer to playoff time, too, where we'll have a little bit more to talk about other than, this NHL team did something shady. Be nice to escape that. But, Endo Mills, what do you have going on as we head into another weekend?
I'm currently rendering a video as we speak. I think I cut up some audio without normalizing the audio first. And so it's been an absolute drag trying to normalize audio for 300 clips. So yeah, I'm just waiting for this to go through. Besides that, just chilling and editing stuff and doing more of that. Yeah, that's what I do now.
What a man.
Yeah.
Sin, what do you got going on?
The usual. Chilling. Vappa. I don't know.
The huge.
Yeah, I might be starting a Bannerlord series because I've been having tons of fun with it. I did one a year or so ago, so I think it's about time I do another one.
I'm gonna have to
now
go
that
watch
the game's fully out. Yeah. I was just gonna say, if any of you guys out there, since I talked about Bannerlord so heavily, you guys want to check it out, I'll probably start it in the next few days on my channel. And I put little cool narrative intros and stuff. I like to RP a bit and make story out of a sandbox. So yeah.
Here's my guy. Died at the ripe age of 31. Oh, God. With that, everybody, thank you as always for watching, listening, supporting the show. We will be back next week to talk more about our favorite memes and copypastas. Today was a good one. We'll see you next week.